My name is Julie Parker. I oversee the Media Relations Division for the Prince George's County Police. Before we begin this morning, we'd like to ask you to please take a moment of silence to reflect upon the lives lost in Newtown, Connecticut. Thank you. And thank you for being here to join us for this important news conference. We appreciate all of our guests taking time out of your busy holiday schedules to be with us here today. The Prince George's County Police Department is pleased to announce an historic drop in homicides and across-the-board reductions in violent crime. You can see for yourselves. We are here today to explain how we arrived at this moment. We're going to begin with Brad Seaman. He is the Chief Administrative Officer for the County Executive, Rashawn Baker. Mr. Seaman.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out today. It's a great day in Prince George's County. There are a number of reasons why today is such a great day. First of all, 3 of our county's most challenged schools have been named Title I Superlative Highest Performing Reward Schools, and in this county we had the most in the state. We also recently announced that our $50 million Economic Development Incentive Fund has closed 6 loans to county-based businesses for $2.4 million, and that leveraged a private investment of $27 million and state funds of $700,000. And finally, as Ms. Parker said, the subject of today's press conference, that Prince George's County has recorded record drops in homicides and overall crime. Chief McCall will follow me with more details on the specific numbers, but I wanted to give you a bit of an idea of how we got here. First, in December 2010, Mr. Baker was read in as Prince George's County Executive. And then in January 2011, we had 14 homicides in 14 days. Also in January 2011, Mr. Baker called for the implementation of weekly crime briefings in the county administration building. These briefings included Mr. Baker and his senior staff, as well as our police department leadership, the corrections department, and it also included elected officials that did not have to be there, but chose to be there because the county executive requested, and that's our state's attorney and our sheriff. And it also included some people who did need to be there, and that was our newly formed county stat team. This gathering was the beginning of the most important ingredient that has contributed to the success that the administration has had in the first 2 years, and that's one of Mr. Baker's 13 principles: communication, collaboration, and teamwork. As a result of these meetings, our police department led the implementation of the Summer Crime Initiative in May of 2011. This initiative recorded double-digit drops in the 5 areas that the department targeted. In November 2011, the administration completed the development of the Baker Vision, Mission, and Guiding Principles. And from December of 2011 through February 2012, a group including our Deputy Chief Administrative Officers, the Police Department, our Economic Development Team, and our County Stat Team studied the Summer Crime Initiative and analyzed non-crime data to develop a comprehensive strategy to achieve Mr. Baker's vision of making Prince George's counties one of the best places to live, invest, work, and visit. It was from this work that the Transforming Neighborhoods Initiative and the 6 focus areas were born. Then in March 2012, Mr. Baker rolled out his fiscal year 12 budget with the tagline of vision, focus, and results, and a charge to our county workers to prioritize their budget resources and focus on the 6 T&I areas. In April 2012, T&I was implemented with a senior leadership person from the Baker staff leading each of the team of 16 people across county agencies, which included the executive branch departments, the public schools, the sheriff, park and planning, and our Economic Development Corporation. They focused on things that people could see, the things that bothered the community every day. The teams and the departments that were responsible conducted community meetings, community sweeps. They also had community walks. They started Facebook pages, collected bulky trash, demolished condemned buildings, inspected distressed apartments, apartments, removed illegal signs, replaced street signs, distributed smoke detectors, identified homes for domestic violence follow-up, distributed meals, cut grass, planted trees, resurfaced and repaired streets, offered flu shots, and on in these 6 areas. In other words, the teams focused on the places where crimes occur and the potential victims of crime. That brings us to today and the announcement of our record drop in crime and homicides. And now I ask Chief McCall to come up and give us more details about the numbers and the role that the police department played in the initiative.
Thank you, Mr. Seaman. And obviously, we're pleased to be here to share the successes with our community. And if you look at these posters behind me, they're staggering, the successes that we've had. But I think it's very important right from the very beginning of this conversation is that success doesn't happen in a vacuum. What you see here with Mr. Baker's emphasis is everyone coming together to support and to build our community. At the beginning of the year, we developed a holistic and focused approach along with our partnerships and collaborations with most of the people in this room, everybody in this room. Mr. Baker's executive staff that sits behind me, the district commanders, his leadership staff, the governor's office, the lieutenant governor, the state's attorney, the U.S. attorney, the FBI, DEA, ATF, the county council, again, state delegates, state senators, everybody was in this mix, which is important as I develop this thought. Municipal partners, all the different municipal police departments that have been so instrumental. Maryland State Police, as we talk a little bit about traffic safety and a reduction of fatal traffic accidents, we lead the state in reductions this year, 30 less fatal accidents, and a lot of that is to the working in partnership with Maryland State Police. But also, and you probably might find this one interesting, the media. Our relationship with the media has never been better. You've helped us get information out when it was critical for our community. I want to thank you for that. You also have contributed to reducing crime in the county. The next group I need to mention, and can't say enough about, are the men and women of this police department. They've risen to every challenge, like they always have, from the command staff down to the youngest officer, patrol officer. I've been on this police department 29 years, and there's not a finer group of men and women that I've ever worked with, dedicated men and women, and I just wanted to thank them publicly. Also, our community. Our community challenged us to be better, and that's what we need. But our relationships, they've also stepped in and helped us become better. We're only as good as our relationship with our community. And these reductions, to a great extent, are due to that relationship, and I want to thank the community publicly. So thank you. As you look at these posters, and I'm going to brush by them fairly quickly, but the homicide poster, down 35.5%. That has never happened before in this county. Last year when I spoke to Mr. Baker about our final numbers, and last year we were up 5 in homicides, but when you looked at every category that leads or contributes to homicides, we were down across the board last year. And last year, at the beginning of this year, I told Mr. Baker that 95 cannot stand because all the indicator crimes were down because of what we had done together, and that number has not stood. But when you look at being down 35.5%, when you look across every category being down, every violent category being down, every property crime being down, the 60 that we have right now won't stand either, in my opinion. But when you look at, and just put it in perspective, last year we were down 12% in violent crime. We're down almost 8% this year in violent crime, on top of the 12%. That's a 20% cumulative swing in 2 years. But the real point of that is last year we had 3,800 less victims in our community. This year we've had 2,200 less victims. That's 6,000 less victims in 2 years. We've done a lot of internal changes. We've made some structural changes. We've closed 19 nightclubs with the help of the council. There's been a lot of initiatives that we've interjected, take 30 for traffic, but I don't want to go into those right now. We can talk about them. We've talked about them all year, but really the most significant thing, in my opinion, is the Transforming Neighborhood Initiative, about bringing everyone together. That's the philosophy change, and if you haven't realized it by now, there's a renaissance underway in this county, and at the core of it is transforming neighborhood initiatives. And at the core of that philosophy is that there's power in unity. There's power in unity. But you have to have a strong leader to be able to pull this many pieces together. And that's what we have in Mr. Baker. And I just want to thank him. I'm excited about where we're going. I'm excited about going into 2013 and the reductions that we're going to continue to have in 2013. I'm confident in saying to you that we're just beginning. We're just getting started. And I'm excited to see where next year takes us. But only positive, good things are going to come out of this. And I want to thank Mr. Baker for his courage and his direction and his leadership in all these categories. Thank you.